All right, Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, obviously, tough loss there. That's what the Mid-American Conference is all about right there. So the last 3 years, we've been in 15 one-possession games. Obviously, it was a one-possession game again today. You have to give credit to Western Michigan. They made some critical plays and situations down the stretch, and we did not. So you have to give them credit for that. We're going to learn from the tape here. A lot of positives. We're getting better as a football team. We're not a finished product. We play obviously next weekend back here at home, and we got to get back in here tomorrow morning. We have to have the best Sunday we can possibly have, watching the tape, learning from it. But we got to play detailed football, man. And there's a couple things that happened there in the fourth quarter that certainly it was disappointing when it happened on the field, and we got to get that cleaned up. We can't. I don't tolerate penalties, and that's something that down the stretch there we can't give up free field position because we got a penalty, and so got to learn from it. Obviously, I do believe that our football team is getting better. Certainly, we're not where we want to be yet. We got to just continue to focus on getting better every day, and if we can do that and everybody can be bought into that, then we're going to be just fine.
Coach, there in the second half, what was the difference defensively? I guess when they were able to, in the first half, they were stopping for most of the half, and they were able to rattle off a couple.
Yeah, and obviously they got some playmakers there. They got some explosive playmakers. The long run there by Tyler comes to mind there, and he's one of those guys, man, that you might be able to bottle him up or slow him down for 3 quarters, but he's a good football player. He's one of the top players in the conference for a reason, and you have to give him credit. They just kept feeding him. And if I saw it correctly on the field, I think we had somebody out of position there. So that's why when you have somebody out of position and you have somebody not in their gap, then things like that happen. And so that can't happen when you're playing against a player of that caliber, obviously, who's explosive like that. And once he gets loose in the open field, you can see that he pulled away from our guys.
Talk about not being a finished product to this point. What's it going to take maybe to take that step, and when a close game like this?
It's the little things, it comes down to it. And there's no magic formula here other than tomorrow morning, every guy needs to be in this building. Everybody needs to be on time for a medical check. Everybody needs to be on time to turn their stats. It's the details. If you can master the details, it's the trickle down effect. It's nothing magical. Our talent is good. Our talent is good enough to compete week in, week out, but it's the little things. And again, I have to give Tim credit, Coach Lester credit for some of the gutsy calls that were made there on 4th down where they converted, or else we had a chance to get them off the field. And then, we send our offense out there for another crack at it. So you have to give them credit, but it's those little things like that, we have to play our best football in the fourth quarter and have a chance to win in this conference week in, week out.
Coach, you guys picked up the tempo a little bit from your game against Tennessee. Was that just for Western, or is that going to be?
No, I think that's something that we want to do. Last week certainly is tough in drawing that assignment. That's what they do. They play with such high tempo last week, but we've been working tempo. Spring ball, we've been working tempo training camp. So that's going to continue to be mixed into our game plan. We won't do it the whole game for 4 quarters because we got personnel groups that we like to change in and out. And we've got good depth at certain positions where we want to get multiple guys on the field, but that'll be part of what we do, week in, week out.
And then with a guy like Ladarius Jefferson on the other side of the ball, how do you guys contain that, or what was your plan of attack?
Thunder and lightning. We know those guys. We played against Ladarius Jefferson. We played against Sean Tyler for the last couple of years. We've had battles with these guys, and they're good football players. And, when you got a big back like that you might get him a few times early, but eventually, once you play 86 plays, which our defense was on the field for 86 plays, eventually, their hope is they're going to keep feeding him and hope that they can wear our defense down. And you have to give him credit that, some of those runs that he had there in the fourth quarter, it certainly appeared that they had worn us down some. So we got to make sure that, we got everybody on the sideline ready to go. You never know when your number is going to be called. If we got to rotate, we got to rotate. But you got to give them credit for continuing to stick to their game plan and wear us down a little bit late.
John Paddock's first time running out as the starter for Ball State in front of the home fans at Schumann. What did you think of his performance today?
John's a competitor, man. I wouldn't want to go to war with anybody else. And he is a very competitive guy. He loves his teammates. He's got great leadership that he shows on the sideline, tremendous poise. And It's 2 weeks in a row. We got to continue to build on it. We had no sacks. John just does a good job of throwing the ball on time, gives the guys a chance to make plays. I thought it was awesome to see, Amir, a couple of plays that he made there. Johan, Brady Hunt made a couple of plays there. Jay Sean Jackson. I mean, again, when we can spread the ball around, make them defend the entire field, and then certainly get number 33 going like we did today. We just got to build on that, and John did a really good job of bouncing back, took care of the football today, and made some big plays against a good football team.
Very good. One more real quick. This week we learned Beth Getz is going to be leaving Ball State late September. Can you talk a little bit about your interaction with her as the director of athletics here?
Very thankful that I had an opportunity to work with Beth Getz and be on her team. She's special. I knew it was a matter of time. I was hoping that it wouldn't happen anytime soon, but I knew it was a matter of time. She's special, and I think you just look at what's happened under her leadership here at Ball State University with all the sports programs, the success on the field, the championships on the field, taking care of business in the classroom. There was an award presented from the commissioner today to President Mearns for winning the academic award. It starts at the top, and Beth Getz is a rock star. I'm going to miss her. Big shoes to fill, but I have the most trust. President Mearns did a great job when he hired Beth Getz, and I'm sure President Mearns is going to do a great job when he hires her successor. But I wish Beth nothing but the best. She's been an unbelievable teammate, and I'll miss her. Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, we'll take questions for AJ.
Yes, just for starters, kind of message after a game like that.
Obviously, tough loss, one possession score, we want to be on the other side of those, but, we're going to watch the film, clean up what we need to clean up, and then feel like, we go by the 24-hour rule. As soon as that, we watch the film, that game's over. Now we on the Murray State, we want to, get in the W column. Obviously, every loss is a tough one. So, we're just going to take it day by day.
Defensively, you guys are making stops throughout the first half. Obviously, they had good field position to start and they scored at the end, but for most of the first half, you were stopping. What happened, or what was different in the second half that allowed that to?
Defense-wise and just as a team, I feel like nothing really was different. Still same scheme, stuff like that. But we still putting our best foot forward every time. I mean, they made plays. That's really all I can say about that. They made plays. As a defense, we need to make sure we limit and stop those plays so we can, be on the other side of the win column, like I said. But we just gonna keep getting after it. Like I said, it's tough loss. So.
Coach New said this team's not a finished product. What's it gonna take to get this team up to speed and get to the point where you guys are playing at your potential?
Preparation. Now I feel like all of us felt like we worked hard preparing for this game. That just means we need to work even harder because obviously it wasn't enough to get it a win. So, we just got to keep going and keep pushing forward. And, this game here does not define us for the rest of the season. So I'm excited to see what the guys how they come tomorrow and ready to get back to work.
This is not an unfamiliar position for you guys. Obviously, last year started, slower than you would have liked, but you're able to turn it around.
Right.
What's it going to take to kind of, reset after 2 straight losses?
I think it's going to come from our leaders on the team, guys that's been here, and really just, not being satisfied. Like, we made a turnaround last year. We want to end with the losses now, and just try to win every game, go 1-0 every week. And, we just got to take that next step forward and win these one possession games.
Coach, you talked about a lot of the game today coming down to details, whether that be penalties or missed assignments. Where does that shape up in your headspace after a game like this where the margin was so thin?
Really just if you limit some of those penalties, we might be on the other side of a win, not an L, So really just, like you said, making sure we take care of the detail, because just like you just said, the little details, you clean up maybe 4 of those details. Maybe we don't clean it all up. Maybe we 2 less penalties, 3 less penalties, and we might be talking here and we just won the game. So
coming off an interception like that, knowing it just got called back 15 yards because of a penalty, how does that make you feel running off the field?
Obviously, it's tough, but I'm not gonna fault my teammate for that. He was just trying to make a play. Obviously, he wasn't like, oh, I'm I'm about to go get this flag real quick and we gonna go 15 yards back. But I mean, obviously it's unfortunate, but I mean, I feel like you put us in that position again. I mean, obviously you don't want the penalty, but I still got confidence in our offense. If you want to back us up 15, move us up 15, it's just how the dice rolled today. So.
And then coming off of Tennessee into the MAC, kind of, I know you guys are Murray State next week, but we're starting to get into the MAC season. This was kind of the real litmus test for that. How are you guys feeling going into the rest of the season in terms of MAC opponents?
I think we still feel good. Obviously, the goal is, to get to the MAC championship. But we got to get a win first, So really just getting back to the drawing board. And, we want to win these MAC games. We want to win every game we play. So next game, Murray State, trying to get a dub there, and we'll move on from there.
Very good. Thanks, AJ.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll take questions for Carson.
Yeah, I guess what's the message after?
It's kind of tough, coming off of Tennessee and stuff like that, you got to come back for your first MAC game. But MAC, it's a tough conference. People don't realize it, every game's going to basically come down to the wire. And, people got to realize, season's not over, first MAC game, just dipping our toes in the water. And, we got to come back, fix our mistakes and pick up from there. So,
Yeah, offensively, you guys are able to move the ball, but I think, 4-13 on third down. What's it going to take to convert in those, pressure situations or those key situations in the game, I guess? Yeah,
definitely. We had little mistakes, coming out of there. We had good points at some times. Finishing drives was one of our big thing. We kicked a couple field goals when we should have had those points, for touchdowns. But like I said, fixing up the little things, getting guys where they need to be. So.
Yeah, I guess what's it going to take to finish some of those drives, those clean up some of those little things?
Yeah, just basically our cleanups. We clean up. We're a great football team. People just haven't seen it yet. Because we just keep making little mistakes with our little stuff we can clean up. But,
obviously last year you guys started 1-3. We're able to turn that around and make a bowl game. What's the mindset, or how do you kind of get guys to reset after 2 tough weeks here?
Definitely, it's a tough loss. Everybody hates losing, we get it. But take one at a time. Like I said, first MAC game, and then we're coming into a game. Obviously, we're going to care about the game, but MAC, is our big main goal, and so we got to prepare for, our next opponent. See where it takes us from there on out. So.
We talked a little bit with Coach New about the devil being in the details when it comes to games like this. He said past 5 years, 15 games have come down to a one possession game. Where does that really get fixed? Is it film? Is it on the training field? Like, where does that really need to flip a switch for this team?
Definitely. I would just say on the field, like you said, 1 point possessions for the last 4 or 5 years. And, that's not with just one team, that's a lot of teams, that we play throughout the year. So coming out onto the field, making sure we have, 100% at practices, no little mistakes, because if you keep making little mistakes on, practice field, everybody thinks it's not a big deal, but it's going to transition to the, game field.
Knowing those little things are out there, especially those games like this, does that get to you guys mentally, or how do you guys cope with that?
A little bit, people are going to make bad plays. We get that, it's a game of football, but we got to get to the, next play mentality, be able to come out there, if we throw a pick, we throw a pig, if we drop a ball or something like that, let up a touchdown, we got to be able to go to the next place.
Against Tennessee, the offensive mindset is trying to control the game. Today, it looks like you guys try to pick up the tempo a little bit of no huddle. How is it adjusting to that, especially against the MAC opponent?
Yeah, definitely. We try to get them up front, by fast play calling, and it helped us out. Our O-line, was driving us down, and but like I said, our little things, we were making mistakes on third downs and stuff like that. Getting to where we had to kick. It's 4th and 3, 4th and 4, stuff like that. So fixing our third down kind of situations and stuff like that, and also cleaning up some run game, pass game, stuff like that. That's going to get us where we want to be.